All right, guys, welcome back. Boots Come in Pairs. It's been a couple weeks now, a little more baseball played. And thanks for everyone that's following, subscribing, liking, viewing our content. Cool to see that grow. We did make it to the Timber Rattlers game. Ryan bought a new hat. The for me, it was fun to talk to Nick and kind of pick his brain as we walk around the stadium. He's kind of pointing out stuff that he does, which is cool. It's all cool. But it just really gave me those Kane County Cougar vibes of just that initial, and he might take this as a compliment, but that's somewhere I'd want my kids to go to learn to love baseball. And that just is a really nurturing environment. And that's more what I felt when we were there. Again, the baseball is irrelevant, right? You're seeing guys, Jesus Made's there. He just got promoted to Double A. But you don't know who's going to turn out, and it's really not about that. It's really just about, having good ballpark experience, good food. That was really good. But yeah, I just got a lot of those for me and you, KC Cougar vibes for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That organization they have there in Appleton is just world class all the way around. They work so hard to create an experience for people, and they just kill it. I got to spend some time with people in the marketing department, graphic design department, the social media department, some people in operations. I got to meet a lot of people, talk to a lot of people, see the game from some different angles. I got to be Nick's tail for the first game. We got to go in the dugout and take some shots from there. He set up a 360-degree camera right by one of the dugout entrances to kind of capture some content and some different things while the guys were celebrating or heading out, or maybe you just catch a cool moment. But I don't know. I just awesome experiences being in Appleton. It was cool to actually be able to go to a game and just really get to interact with the fans, get to interact with the staff. Go out. I went out with the staff a few times after the games just to hang out. That was fun. I got to be on the trash crew at the end of the Friday night game, which was fun. That's kind of something that they all have to pitch in for. Big league clubs have that, have people who actually clean, but at minor league ballparks, everyone pitches in. You're going aisle by aisle, picking up all the big stuff. They're taking the big leaf blowers and blowing the small stuff one way, but lots of fun. I'm excited to go back next year and enjoy that again.
Yeah. Kudos to them. Nick was saying how they've grown as an organization, but just a good family environment and a lot of fun to visit. And yeah, it's only an hour and a half from Milwaukee, but also when you have kids that age, that's a long drive. So it's nice to have something there that they can all enjoy, especially in a small town. The ballpark's literally behind a strip mall, but you wouldn't know it because when you're there, it just feels fun. But yeah, very, very cool experience. So we shift our focus to the major league level. The Cubs have been about 500. They're in a great position for the wild card. I think that's the best we can do right now. We're kind of looking up Milwaukee, and they've cooled off, but the problem is the Cubs didn't really capitalize on a weak schedule they had. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Nationals, which feels like you lost 6 games, but the reality is they are kind of keeping the status quo even after they had a good, April and May. I've said this a couple of times. I don't think I felt worse about a 20-game over 500 team. But if we look at last year, what did they win? 83 games for the whole season. They're currently at 83 wins or 81 wins. Either way, they're
82.
Going 82. So they're going to surpass that. I don't know if – I guess this would be the first question we can kind of toss around. Is this, after the Kyle Tucker move, is this where we thought the Cubs would be, or did we expect more, or is this appropriate?
I expected a little bit more. Granted, there have been some guys who have, I would say, overproduced, or they just exceeded expectations. Thinking of a couple guys, regardless of how he finishes, Pete Crow Armstrong has definitely exceeded expectations. I don't think anybody especially the experts over at Fangraphs. Nobody thought that he would do the type of damage that he's done on offense, which has been fun to see. He's kind of starting to capture that spark a little bit again in September. He's starting to string some hits together and do some damage, which is good after a couple of very like desolate months where he just looks completely out of it and lost all his confidence. Another couple guys, I would say Matthew Boyd has for sure overproduced, exceeded expectations by a lot. He is setting a career high in a lot of things. He's also cooled off a little bit, but has had a great season. And then Cade Horton has just been fantastic. Like, as we were talking about a couple weeks ago, has been probably the best pitcher in baseball, definitely the best pitcher on their team. I don't think anybody, any fan who, or any non-insider, I don't think any of us thought that he was going to be up, or maybe he was going to be up, but not making the kind of impact that he has. He has been unbelievable. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes, you get a superstar like Kyle Tucker, you think that he's going to elevate players, which he definitely did. I think after that initial surge in the beginning few months, we really thought that they could go to the moon and they were gonna be something special. Which, I mean, it's great. I'm glad that they are where they are, but I think we kind of got a little bit ahead of ourselves as fans just because of how they were performing earlier.
Correct. I again, my expectation, or I wouldn't say, because I wasn't expecting pre-Kyle Tucker move for them to do this, but my threshold is playoffs, and they are firmly within the playoffs. They are one game out from being like the third best team in baseball. So, and they are the third best team in the National League right now, ahead of the Dodgers. So, for me, I would say they've exceeded expectation. Granted, the last couple months have felt like we're kind of sliding back because they have been regressing. First 3 months of the season, over 600 win percentage. The last 3-4 months, they've been about 500, and it feels like they've been playing 500 baseball. They were,
or worse.
Yeah, they were, and they are playing 500 baseball because there is no month this season other than March where they went 3-4. That's a wash. Mm-hmm. They are over 500 for every month of the season. Would you believe that?
Right.
Do you believe that? Because that's what they are.
It doesn't feel like it, but I believe it, but it doesn't feel like it.
15-14 in August, 14-10 in July, 13-13 in June. So they are, right. And then 18-9 in May. So there's 9 games right there. 15-9 in April. The biggest thing, though, the power. There's been a little bit of a power outage. Those dog days of August are catching up. They hit 45 home runs in June, which that's the highest home run total they had. They hit 28 last month, so that's not good. Strikeouts are up a clip. Highest strikeout total for a month was last month with 220 as a team. These are all team stats. Right. They had batting average dipped down to 227 as a team. In May, their highest hitting month with April, 267. But so essentially
OPS,
dropping.
What about OPS?
Almost 30 points. OPS was down to 668, which is below league average for any individual player. 771 OPS in April and May. So that's the problem. They're just not producing as much. They're not getting on base as much. They're not scoring as many runs. As you alluded to, Matthew Boyd is still pitching well, but they're not giving him run support. They've been playing a lot more close games. However, we have to position ourselves for this is still a good baseball team. They will be playing playoff baseball. The Padres aren't playing well to really dethrone them, right? So that's, I think the month-by-month picture really shows how mediocre it's been, but also that they are still playing better baseball than last year.
Right. And I mean, I would say like a lot of that was like offensive struggles. Like they've also had a lot of struggles on the pitching end. And I would say both starting and relief pitching.
They don't have a closer anymore.
You take Horton out of the mix, all the starter, and then JMO has been out He's had a couple of very good starts, including tonight has been a good one too. But you really take those two guys out. Shota's ERA is about 4. Everyone else is like high 4s, low 5s. So they have not been pitching well starting. And yeah, the relief pitching has been brutal. Palencia being a big part of that. Palencia has lost, I think, 4 games post All-Star break. His ERA is about 6. You can't rely on him anymore. Taylor Rogers has been brutal. Kittredge is starting to figure it out a little bit, but then Pomeranz has gotten banged around. So really, I mean, it's been Keller and Thielbar.
Yep.
Those have been the 2 dudes who have been lights out. I wouldn't be surprised if they turned to one of those guys to close games. Probably Keller, because Keller's got the bigger fastball and more versatile arsenal. Yeah. But they got to capture some stuff. Palencia still's got the stuff, but he cannot be put in high leverage situations anymore because they've lost big games because of him.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had things firmly, like this is a 99.9% win. And yeah, the other day he gave up 4 or 5 runs and didn't get an out. So
even before the injury, I think we were headed for a potential changing of roles because he's not been as effective the last month in that role. Like again, he throws 102 that plays with everybody, but yeah, when guys start to lose their command and then they're not swinging anymore at your stuff, it's tough because what guys were taking advantage of then is the slider, which is at 87. Well, it's a lot more hittable than 102. So even before the injury, I think we were headed for maybe a different option. And again, they don't really have another great option. Craig was kind of talking about it today, and he's simplifying it in the regular season. He's saying, we don't have to replace a closer. We have to replace 3 more outs. But those outs are, as we know, are the hardest outs to get in the game. So I think you might see Keller in that spot. Thielbar, a guy that I wasn't very high on at the beginning of the year because he's 38, 39 years old. But yeah, he's turned into a high leverage guy.
He's been terrific.
I don't know if Porter Hodge can harness something. I don't really like him.
He's been pitching a lot better since he got brought back up, and we know he's got the stuff. He just has to throw strikes, and he has to be I would say around the strike zone with his misses.
Yeah.
You can't be throwing all over the place and then pipe it. Like you got to be effective. If you're going to be wild, you got to be effectively wild. But for him, throwing strikes has always been something that has helped him.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. Brad Keller to me is a really good story because I don't think he was really supposed to be much. And also, I mean, Chris Flexen kind of fell into this category for a while, and then the shine kind of fell off. But Keller, I mean, he started his tour this year essentially throwing shutout ball, right? 20-plus innings without allowing a run. So it's nice to see. And Pomeranz was similar. But
Pomeranz had the run.
Yeah.
He was the one who had the scoreless streak. He had a 0 ERA for a long time. He'll find it. Right. He'll find it. I'm confident in that. He's just had a couple of rough outings here, but yeah. I think the result for him is that he just throws so many strikes. Yeah. And it's like, well, if you're throwing a lot of strikes, you're going to get hit. And he's not a flamethrower anymore, but he's effective. But they will definitely need him if they're going to make a push for sure.
Right. But you go back to those games in April when, they came back on the Diamondbacks down 7. They scored, 7 runs in the following inning or whatever. Like, we were like, oh, they're going to have to slug their way to a Central Division championship. Well, if they're not hitting, I don't like their chances in the playoffs anyways, so It doesn't really matter. If we're complaining about the bullpen not doing their job in the postseason, I can live with that, but if it's the offense that's struggling and then the bullpen lets up 1 run and we're like, what are they doing? Like, no, they're going to have to hit. So hopefully they're starting to turn things around. Tonight is not that night because they're only up 3-2. But also, again, we're not going to line up east of this thing, but if you have a starting lineup with Carlos Santana and Justin Turner in it, again, and Willie Castro, who's been a negative WAR player for you, that's. I like the. Did we discuss Carlos Santana coming on?
No,
I don't think so. I like the move for defense. I don't like the move for actually playing these guys. I think
Right.
Carlos Santana is an upgrade from Turner
Yeah.
because he can actually play the field. I think now Turner can go away. But for playoff depth, I like it. I don't like it for an actual like starting lineup depth. Right.
He's just old.
Yeah.
He's just old. I mean, you take prime Carlos Santana, that is a plus plus glove and a guy who knows how to get on base. Like he's always had high walk totals, lower strikeout totals. The average has never really been there for him, aside from a couple outlier seasons. But he's always been able to slug, and he's always been able to take a walk. Like he takes a professional at bat. Um, but he's also like 35 to 38. Like he's in his mid to late
He's
30s.
39.
Is he
I'm not
39?
clicking on it
Yeah.
right now.
He just I
I'm
mean
pretty sure he's
he's
39.
a
He is 39
he's a
years old. He was born in
yeah,
1986,
yeah, he's a terrific
one day
player,
before
but
my
he's
birthday.
just old. And same with JT. Like JT,
Yep.
the impact that Justin Turner has had on this organization, just the intangibles, just
Yep.
talking to guys, like that is invaluable. Like that will make lasting
Yep.
impacts on Matt Shaw, on Pete Crow Armstrong in particular. That's a great move to help really push along your young guys, and help them just become another level of professional. Justin Turner has done it better than almost anybody in the last decade. But yeah, playing him, like they have no bench. The Cubs have no bench. They don't have anyone they can rely on. At least a couple of years ago, like Mike Talkman was like
Yeah, Talkman's 32
younger.
now.
He could play defense, a few different, like all three outfield spots. He can take a walk. He's doing pretty well for the White Sox right now.
Yeah.
Not to say Talkman's the answer, but like players like
Right.
Talkman.
I understand. Yeah, and everything you said about him in the clubhouse is that kind of guy is correct. He's a liability on the field.
Yeah,
He puts the ball in play, but sometimes that's worse than the alternative because he grounds into a double play. Like the second the ball is on the ground for him, it's an out because he is not running anything out. Carlos Santana's a little more athletic. He can still kind of run, but Turner cannot run at all, and he's a liability at first. You don't want him at third, so it's just. You're right. I agree. His impact on the clubhouse, yes. Then put him on the bench. Have him be a bench coach now.
right.
He does not need at bats, and he's been getting regular at bats too
Yeah,
frequently. I feel like every game he
yeah,
gets in, because that's what Craig does. Craig uses his bench to its full. So if that's the guy you're going to give him, he'll play him. Um,
right.
it just isn't. I think that hasn't worked out on the player side.
It's not ideal.
Not
No.
ideal. I am also looking forward to when we can actually just settle in this infield in the playoff and have it be Bush, Horner, Swanson, Shaw. Nobody else. I don't need subs in. And then
Right.
again you have Tucker, PCA, Hap.
Yep.
They
Yes.
haven't had that lineup out there since June. I
Right.
feel like someone's been hurt or someone's out of the lineup or someone's shaken up. So I think that's part of it too is just the inconsistency of who's actually out there. And Craig knows. Again, playoffs you're not going to mess around. But right now you're kind of just trying to get guys healthy and get them back in the groove. But
Right.
yeah, not panning out. So Thielbar's in for the ninth or seventh. So that's part of the answer there, right? He's going to be one of the high
Yeah.
leverage guys. Um, but yeah, it'll be an interesting stretch. We have 17 games left, right? So
17 games.
by next time, again, they're not going to run down the Brewers, even though the Brewers just got swept for probably the first time since like March, May,
Right.
whatever. I think
By
the
by
Yankees
Texas. By
by
Texas.
Texas. Well, Texas is in it.
Texas.
Texas is
Texas is in it.
they're
Texas is in it.
fans.
But they have some very hopefully they can take care of business tonight, close it
Yeah,
out. That'll be at 83. And then you got the Rays, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. You got three divisional opponents, St. Louis, and before St. Louis, you play the Mets, who are not playing well.
yeah,
So really this end of the schedule, like we kind of talked about, like it's very, very much in the Cubs' favor. They just need to take care of business. They need to hit, they need to pitch, they need to play defense.
yep,
It's very, very they should at the very least be a 90-win team.
yep.
Very least. But we know how things can go.
If they don't win 90 games, then they're under 500 for the month of September. So that
Which
would
they haven't been doing.
they haven't been doing. We have seen that. Um, So bigger wild card picture again. I think if you're the Cubs, you need to be looking down, not up. They are
6 games up.
6 games up on the Padres, right? No, on the
No,
Mets. They're
no, they're
6 games
six.
up.
They're six games up on the Mets. The Mets are the last.
Right.
They're the third wild card team right
Okay.
now.
So you're 16 up on the Mets, and you're 8.5 games up on the Giants, even though the Giants are only 2 games over 500. So like, there's
Right.
essentially the Cubs are very close to clinching a wild card spot. They're 99% chance to make the playoff. I feel good about that. How important do you think home field is in this?
I think in the Cubs case, it's pretty important because they'll get the place rocking. But more important than the home is having everybody healthy and having that lineup that you were talking about that they haven't had, that starting lineup. Home field will definitely help. I think they'd go with Shota too, to start the series. I think that's how it would go. Um, but yeah, I mean they're in a good spot, but like I wouldn't put it past like San Francisco. Like after they swept the Cubs, they've been playing pretty good baseball. I think it was Chris Rose, or it might have been, um, it might have been Trevor Plouffe. Somebody said the Giants play the best baseball when they have nothing to play for, but they're kind of creeping back into the
Two
picture,
and a half
and
out, yeah.
they've been playing good. They've been beating good teams. So they could be there. The Mets aren't playing that well, but like then you got like Cincinnati and Arizona who are still hanging around. Like
Right.
they could get hot. Um, so
So that's the
I don't
thing with
know.
the
That third spot is interesting to me.
yeah.
The third spot's really interesting.
That's the thing with the three wild card, because even like I think, at the trade deadline when the Guardians were trading off, and they're like, this isn't our year. Well, you know what? Guardians are now 3 games over 500, only 3 games out of the last wild card spot. They
Yeah.
are very alive right now in that chase, and the Rangers
Right.
that you just alluded to, just swept the Brewers. They're 1 game back of the
Right.
Mariners, who are notorious chokers. So like,
Right.
you know, this third wild card really keeps teams in it. So I'm not familiar because we haven't had this format very long. Who does that third wild card team play? The
So
worst ranked division
I
opponent?
think so. I think what happens is the third wild card team plays the second wild card team in a series, like a 3-game series, and the winner of that game will play another team. So like a seed will play a seed or something like that. I don't know if
I don't
anyone
know
gets a
because
bye.
the Brewers were in the wild card last year, but they weren't a wild card, right? Correct. They won the division,
Yes.
and they played the Mets in the wild card. So I think the worst divisional team plays the last wild card team. That's how I
Okay.
think that goes. It must be because I'm trying to figure out. But either way, yeah, you don't want to be in that, because someone said today, they go, if it ended today, the Cubs would play the Padres.
Right.
How it works out, and Padres are a talented roster. Again, it's
Right.
so looking.
But the Padres, and like this is gonna be very, very interesting because the Padres are not far. Like some of these races are crazy. Like
Yeah.
I would say both Wests. Like
Yep.
the Padres are like creeping on the Dodgers. Like the Dodgers are not playing super great. They're a little bit banged up, and I like they play all playoff bound teams, whether they're actually leading the division or in the wild card hunt. The Dodgers are ending their crappy part of their schedule now, and from here on out, it's
Yeah.
going to be tough. The Padres have a little bit less. They play two really bad teams. I think they play Colorado and the White Sox to like end their season, or maybe it's smashed in the middle. So they have a lot more favorable of a schedule. So that'll be interesting. And then the AL West, like they all those teams are separated by like a game or a game and a half, and they play each other and they play good teams. So
Yep.
and then even the East, like Toronto plays four or two divisional opponents. They play Tampa twice. They play Boston, and then they also play Kansas City, and Kansas City's right in the running too.
Right.
That's crazy. And then Boston too. Like Boston plays a lot of good teams. Boston's going to have to earn. They're going to have to earn this.
Yep.
They play Tampa. They play Toronto. They play Detroit. They play the Yankees one more time. Like that is going to be a crazy
they're
series.
Playing good ball though. So to answer my own question last year, the Brewers were the worst division winner. They won 93 games. They won the division, but they were the lowest seed. And they played the Mets, who were the third wild card team. So as it sits today, season ended today, you would have, I think, the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the worst divisional leader in the NL right now. Yeah, 81 wins for the Dodgers. The Dodgers would play the Mets for that last wild card spot, and the Cubs would play the Padres. I would rather play the Mets, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's not really a prize for me because the Padres are such a talented team. I guess it kind of leads into this. Of the teams that are currently in playoff position, who do you have the most faith in actually having postseason success? So right now, let's just say right now, you have Toronto, you have the Tigers, you have Houston, you have Philly, you have Milwaukee, you have the Dodgers, and then you have the wild cards, which would be the Yankees, Red Sox, Mariners, and then the Cubs, Padres, Mets. Barring miracles, again, you could swap out Seattle for Texas, but barring miracles or collapses, this is most likely your playoff picture. Maybe swap out the Mets, right?
Right.
Who do you think has a realistic shot of actually winning the World Series? That's kind of a loaded question, but
right. I think if Philadelphia can figure out their starting pitching situation, because as we know, Zach Wheeler is done for the year.
Yep.
I think if they can figure out if they can get three guys to perform on the mound, I think that they addressed their bullpen woes.
Yes.
Like Duran has been good for them. There's no more Jordan Romano experience. Like he's in low leverage situations. He might not even be on the roster. But if they can figure out how to, I would say three good starters. Maybe Nola can figure it out a little bit. He hasn't figured it out all year, but maybe he might pull I don't know, somebody who hasn't pitched well but then finds it in the playoffs. Whatever. Insert Nate Eovaldi's name. I mean, didn't pitch well, but then pitched really well, and then has pitched really well since.
Aaron Nola could be that guy.
Aaron Nola could be that guy. And I think Philly's offense is just, I mean, that's enough to get them through if they hit. And Schwarber's doing really well, and Harper's heating up, and Trey Turner's having a really good year, and they're a good offense. So I like Philly if they can figure out their starting pitching.
I like Philly. I'm just going to talk off your point. That's not. I'll pick someone else because that's just for good argument's sake. I don't think the pitching is going to be a problem with Philly. I think it's going to be the problem has been for them is their offense and their stars have not shown up to win them a World Series. And I'm not saying they don't show up all year, but when you need them in these series, you need Bryce Harper to carry you for a series, or you need Kyle Schwarber to have that 4-homer moment in the postseason. Like that's what you need. You need Trey Turner healthy. You are going to want your offense to really carry you because Johan Duran is fantastic and he's a huge upgrade for them. But if you don't even get to him because you're trailing in the game, you're down 2-1 because your offense didn't. And again, playoff baseball is hard to hit. All these pitchers are really good. But that's what you need. You need a magical postseason from your stars.
And that was the problem a couple years ago. Like we thought they were just gonna mow everybody down, and then Arizona came in and just they completely choked them out.
They did.
They completely choked them out.
Yep.
You had some great pitching and that offense with all that. Like I wouldn't even say there were any stars on Arizona. They were all grinders.
Nobody
and
gave
they played
Arizona a chance going into that series. For sure.
No, but like that end of the bullpen was just fantastic. They had like four guys
Yep.
who nobody could hit. They were making all the plays. They were coming up with the timely hits. They were doing the gritty things. And Philly just complete power outage. Like
Yep.
like the city shut off the lights
Yep.
because they didn't pay the bill.
Yep. Yep. So I guess I'll kind of do this by process of elimination, because my theory, and last year we got caught up in the hype train with the Orioles, like, oh, this is going to be their year to click. So for me, teams that have not been there or knocking on the door are automatically eliminated. So I would say, again, I'm not using my heart. I'm using what I've seen and what I know, my analytical brain. Toronto will not win the World Series. I don't care how good they are. They have not been there. They have not done that. They have not gone far enough. Um, the Brewers will not win the World Series because they cannot get out of the first round. So until they can advance and play further into the postseason, even though they're having a magical season, they have not advanced far enough for me to put any confidence in them. San Diego, same thing. They have really good players, and I think they could do it. However, they have struggled to get out of that first round. Can't do it for me. The Cubs have the pedigree. Will they? I don't think so. That's more of just, again, I've seen enough there. I know Seattle, biggest pretender of the bunch. Don't even need to address it. Boston, I think their roster is good. It's not great enough to win. Um, I hate to say this because this is kind of leading to the same road. The Dodgers are the most talented roster in baseball. They have assembled the most expensive roster in baseball. And I think until proven otherwise, I don't care what the record is right now. 81-64 is fine for them. They are the biggest threat, in my opinion, to win the World Series again. And I hate the Dodgers. I hate to say that. But based on who's there and who's doing what, I would love to see the Phillies win. I would love to see Kyle Schwarber be MVP of the World Series. I think that would be amazing. I wish he would come back to the Cubs. But I think based on the pitching depth, I think Glasnow threw almost a no-hitter last night.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to look at their roster and think they will not be competing again for the World Series.
Right.
Snell, Glasnow, Yamamoto. Do they get Sasaki back? I don't know. That's a bonus.
Yeah, they got this kid Sheehan who threw a nice game. I think
Of
he
course
threw
they
last
do.
night. He went like 7 innings and gave up one run.
Yep.
He's been throwing really well.
Shohei, I mean, even if you move him to a relief role or a closer role, like, he hasn't been super effective as a starter, which we kind of, but like, again, he's still Shohei Ohtani. Mookie Betts is still Mookie Betts, even if he's having a down year, right? Like, there's all these, again, the names are the names. Teoscar Hernandez could awaken suddenly, and then now he's the guy. You
He
know,
hit 2 bombs last night.
yeah, and he's had a down year for him too. But that's a team, and then Houston is another one that you just can't count them out. They're leading that division again, and it's just like, and only by one game, but it's just teams like that definitely have a lot more confidence in than, again, Detroit would be a fun pick, but I just don't have a lot of, even though they had a good run last year, was it just a good
Right.
run? Was it just like the
Right.
Diamondbacks a couple years ago? So again,
Yeah,
as
I
much
just
as it
don't.
pains me to say, Dodgers,
I just don't know. I just don't know about Detroit's pitching is the problem.
yeah,
They've been too inconsistent. Like aside from Scooble, and he's probably going to win the Cy Young again because Crochet had a little bit of a blow up start a couple starts ago. But yeah, Scooble got rocked in the playoffs last year. I think.
yeah,
I thought he got well. No, he didn't get rocked, but I think he got rocked later, like when they made it to the ALCS.
yeah,
I think he got hit pretty hard. But yeah, beyond him, I mean, Casey Mize has had probably his most healthy season, but he's kind of dropped off. Flaherty take his first like couple months out, and he's been terrible. He's starting to find it again a little bit, but like they just don't have the pitching depth, I don't think. And their offense is good, and they play okay defense too, but I don't think Detroit has it.
yeah. But I mean, you never know when that calendar. Like I said, they did with smoke and mirrors last year, so I think
Right.
they're capable of making a playoff push. Is it
Yeah.
a World Series run? I don't see that either. But crazier things have happened. Are the Yankees a contender? I don't, I don't know.
I don't
Right?
know.
I don't know.
They're a confusing team. They're
Yeah.
really a confusing team. Um, I don't know. I feel like they haven't been playing that well, and they're the top wild card team. They're up on Boston by like half a game. Yeah, I just like Aaron Judge has had a great season, but his average has dropped off. I think he's down to like 320 now. I don't really know who else is hitting on that team, honestly. Trent Gresham's hitting. He's hitting homers.
Trent, yeah. That's
Um,
interesting. So I saw an article on that too. I mean, he's had a career year,
yeah,
and the Yankees also could let him walk.
right,
Is that, I mean, again, he was a Brewer prospect. They kind of gave up on him. The Yankees don't often turn talent away, especially your best outfielder, I would argue, hitting wise,
right,
besides Judge. But his defense is good, serviceable. Sometimes it's a little
right.
lacking. Um, that's just an interesting take for a team that's ascending to let one of your
Yeah,
better offensive players walk, and I think they might do
right,
it.
right. Right. And I mean, I don't really know the Yankees system as well. I know Jason Dominguez had a really nice rookie year for them. Not a great defender, but has hit
Mm-hmm.
really well. He's super young. But yeah, they're
Shocking
just
that
confusing. They're pretty
The Yankees have four DHs in their outfield. Go figure. I
right.
mean,
They're a confusing team. Like Volpe's had a brutal season. Um, uh, Ben Rice, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be a mainstay. He's a younger, but I mean, they just don't really like. They have a really good record, but they don't really scare me.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But they have the pedigree too. And anytime you put a team in Yankee Stadium, it's a tough environment. Um,
right.
but all right, well, that'll be interesting, something to watch. As again, but probably by the next time we talk, we'll have teams that have clinched. I think the Brewers' magic number is like 2.
Yeah,
'Cause
they'll
again, every
clinch soon.
time you win a game or your opponent that's chasing you loses a game, you tick one off that magic number. So even though the Brewers got
Hmm.
swept again for the first time since May,
Right.
they probably will still take some off that magic number. Um, but yeah, it'll just be interesting to see. I mean, hopefully, well, the Red Sox lost tonight, but they've been in it. So I feel like it's been a good baseball year for the teams that I'm interested in because
Yeah.
playoff baseball is so much fun, and having your team in it, even if it's for 3 games, is very exciting. I think again, the last time the Cubs were in the playoffs was when they lost that wild card series to the Marlins. So
Yeah.
it's making the playoffs would be a huge increase.
Yeah. That
Just
was 2020.
yeah, yep. So didn't even count year, and then by the next year we're trading everybody off and moving in a different direction from our World Series team. So yeah, it's a new day for the Cubs, and that's the biggest thing is I've been thinking about lately. It's just they're playing good baseball for the season, and that's where I know it's like, oh, like Craig's, he's so ho hum, but you need that steady presence. This is why you pay him $8 million a year, to be that steady presence, to not overreact, to play the roster to its full potential. Um, and I think he's got the most out of this roster that was not built to win the World Series. We've said that many times. This team was not
Yeah.
built to win the World Series. Can they? Maybe. But you got to get in the dance to do it. So
Right.
they are at least doing step one, which is get into the postseason.
Get there.
Get in.
Give yourself a chance.
Yep. Because last year they were 83 and 79. So
Yeah.
they're already going to well surpass that.
And the year before they were 83 and 79.
Yep. Yep. So they have. Well, you know what? We'll say it after they win their 84th game, but I'm predicting they will win at least 2 more games this year,
Yeah.
and they will
Yeah.
buck the trend of having the same record. Yeah. 'Cause
Right.
don't forget, people, it's still baseball season. I know everyone's switching over to football, but it's still baseball season.
Still baseball.
Especially if you're a Bears fan, it's still baseball season. You don't
Yeah.
have to watch that stuff anymore. Um, but yeah, we will continue the conversation. Hopefully, playoff baseball. I don't know if are you going to try to attend any in Detroit?
I might. I'm gonna try to at least get to a home game near the end of the season. They play Atlanta in a couple weeks, weekend series, so I might try to get down for that. But if there's any like affordable playoff games anywhere close, I might try to go
Yeah.
if I'm able to.
Well, your next closest is the south side of Chicago, so that won't be happening.
No, no. I mean, Wrigley would probably be expensive. I mean, I'd go to Milwaukee if they had a game in Milwaukee over a weekend. I think that could be fun.
Yeah, well, the thing with Milwaukee, and it almost drives me nuts because they don't sell out, and maybe this year they will, but they sell tickets for like $10 if it's like a week. I know you said weekend, but if it's like a Tuesday night and it's either in the wild card round, they literally have to bribe people to come to the ballpark. Here, $10
It's
tickets, let's fill
crazy.
it out. So that does make it affordable. I would be interested in something like that.
Right.
Yeah, again, the weeknight games for sure, but I think even so, it's just getting in the ballpark for those environments is so fun. It's a different
It's
brand,
fun.
brand of baseball for sure.
Right.
All right, well, yeah, I guess until next time, Boost come in pairs. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, push those buttons. Take it easy, guys.
Peace.